Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with the next update for my Relax Pan collab. This is going to be the final update before the finale because this is wrapping up in January, but I'm excited to share with you all the progress that I have in this update. It's going to be a very exciting update. But before we jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the first product. And for the first product, I have my Cliona palettes right here. These two were rolled in, or like, I didn't roll in the whole palette, but basically I put a prompt in for the prompts, something you save for special occasions or might come in handy one day, and for that I decided to work on some of my Cliona eyeshadows. And obviously I have a lot. I have two palettes of them now. I actually picked up the last shades that I was missing from the stained glass collection, but we have the first palette right here, which is the main kind of colorful one, and then we have the second one, which is the one I recently expanded with the iridescent shades, and then obviously here are all of the new shades that I picked up. So I have quite a few shades, but my goal with these was to use 10 of them that I had not yet used, just to play around with more shades and have an excuse to reach for these shades, because they are definitely ones that I saved for special occasions. And as of the last update, I had reached for 7 so far, and I'm happy to report that I reached for additional 3. So I'm going to show you which ones I reached for in the last month. So the first shade that I reached for in the past month is this purple right here, which is Gothic. I don't think you can pick up the shifts on camera really, but I will swatch them out afterwards, which I usually do, just so you can see the shifts. But that is the first shade, which is, it goes from a purple to like an orange to a yellow, and it's absolutely stunning. This is one of the jeweled multi-chromes, and I had not yet used any jeweled multi-chromes in this project, so I wanted to reach for some this past month, and this is one of them. The second one I reached for is one of my iridescent shades, which I actually I think it was the only one I had not yet used before I got the second order, and that is the shade Ray, which is this one right here. They all will probably look the same to you, but you can probably see the little bit of a red shift in there. This one is a stunning shade. It goes from like a red to an orange to a green. It's absolutely stunning, and I really enjoy this shade. I think I topped this on top of a green on my lid, and it's created a really cool combination. So that was the second one. And then for the third one, we went back to my jeweled multi-chromes again, because I wanted to reach for another one of these. And the one I reached for this time was actually the one next to Gothic, which is this one right here, which is Smolder. This one goes from like a fuchsia almost to a yellow to a green to, it has a bit of orange in there as well. It's an absolutely stunning shade. It's a really shifty one. So there's a lot of multi-chromes like this one on the market, but this one is just such an amazing one. And this was the last one that I reached for in the past month, but let me swatch them out for you so you can see what they look like. So you can see all of these have really beautiful shifts. I would say Gothic is definitely the deepest one, but they all still have very distinctive shifts. Gothic has like that kind of purpley shade that goes into the orange, and then a very harsh angle that goes into like a yellow and almost a green. Then we have Ray, which is the iridescent shade. This one goes from the red to the yellow, and then like an orange, and then at the very last end a green, which is really stunning. And then Smolder, which is probably my favorite. It goes from that fuchsia pink, like I said, to an orange in certain angles, and then a very strong green. And I don't know if you can pick them up on camera right there, but I would have inserted the video with my phone otherwise, so you can see what they look like. So because I have now used my 10 Cliona eyeshadows, I'm going to roll out that prompt, so I will replace that at the end of the video. But next up we have my Urban Decay Naked palette, which is something I rolled in for something nostalgic, and this is the most nostalgic palette that I have in my collection. And I decided to roll in the shade Virgin, which is one of the few shades in here that didn't have pan on, and this is what that should look like at the last update. And obviously my goal was to hit pan, and as of the last update I had used this 15 times, and in the past month I used this an additional 14 times, and I was able to hit pan right there. So in total it took me 29 uses to hit that pan. I love seeing how used and abused this palette looks now, and I have had this for such a long time, and if you saw my recent video go up of my eyeshadow clutters, you know that this is going to leave my collection at the end of the year, or when I wrap up the projects that this has been in. But I'm excited to have given it some love this past year, and again I'm happy to have hit pan on Virgin. The next product is also an eyeshadow, and this is another one that I wanted to hit pan on. This one is from Wet n Wild, and this is one of the potted eyeshadows from, I think, originally the Comfort Zone palette, and this one I used called the taupe shade, but yeah, I rolled this in for something the potted or repressed. And as of the last update I had used this 7 times, and again this is what it looked like at the last update. And since then I have used it an additional 2 times, and as you can see that I have a baby pan, so I was able to hit my goal. I really love this shade. It's actually quite a unique shade. It's almost like a white gold. It's really stunning on the eyes. It worked really well with cool tones, which is something that I've reached for quite a lot in the last couple of months, just because I'm panning a few cool tone shades. So I'm excited to have pan on this, and I probably think I would be happy panning this whole shade at some point, because the pans are very shallow, so I don't think it's going to take very long to finish this completely. But I'm really happy that I fell in love with this shadow through this project, and it's definitely one that I'm going to reach for more now. Next up, we have a product that's been in since the introduction, and that is my Clarins lip gloss. This is the Instant Light Lip Perfector in the shade number 2. I rolled this in, like I said, in the introduction, and my goal is to use this 100 times. That's quite a lofty goal, but I really want to get as much use out of this one as I could this year, because it was on my list of products to finish this year. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do so, but I am happy to show you the progress that I was able to make. In the past month, I used this 28 times, and previously I had used it 48. So I have pretty good head start on this, and I think I definitely will hit my 100 uses by the finale. And just to show you my progress lines, that is where I am now. So you can see this is how much I used in the first month, the second month, and now the third. I think this is probably the most accurate line, because I mentioned in the last update that I think there was an air bubble here, and that's why I marked it like that, why it moved so much in the first month. And then the second month is like, I think, the month where it all evened out, and I think this is more the accurate line, if that makes sense. And you can see now where I am. So having used it 76 times, I think it hasn't moved that much. So you can see how much product you get in one of these, but it's an absolutely amazing formula. I definitely will consider purchasing another one of these in a better shade for me in the future, once I finish up some lip glosses. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress that I got on this, and it's definitely one that I will be able to finish next year. So the last two items are both lip products that were both rolled in 2 months ago, and both of them had a usage goal of 30. Let's start with the MAC lipstick, which I rolled in for the prompt My Perfect Nude, and I really love this lipstick. I have, however, noticed that I prefer this in summer versus winter, because it's a bit too peachy for me when I am as pale as I am now. But yeah, my goal with this was to use it 30 times, and as the last up there I used it 13, and I have used an additional 17 times in the past month to hit my goal. So this one will be rolling out, and I'm really excited about that, because yeah, it's a beautiful color, but again, I prefer this in the summer. So it's definitely one that I can reach for more next year, but it is one of my favorite lipsticks from MAC, so I am excited that I was able to work on it in this project. Then the second one was my Kat Von D liquid lipstick, or sorry, KVD Beauty, in the shade Bone Arrow. This one I rolled in for a controversial brand, because obviously Kat Von D, very controversial. KVD Beauty now is rebranded, but I think it's still a bit of a grey area, I guess. I haven't purchased anything else from the brand since the whole drama happened, but this is definitely a controversial brand, and in my opinion it's probably the most controversial brand I have in my collection, because I don't have any like Jeffree Star or anything like that. So yeah, that's why I rolled this product in. But my goal with this was to use it 30 times, like I mentioned, and as of the last update I had used this 10 times, so I had 20 more uses to go, and I'm happy to report that I was actually able to hit my goal on this one as well. I'm wearing this lipstick today. It probably has worn off a little bit now because I put it on earlier today, but that was my 20th use of the month, so I have hit my goal, and I'm very excited about that. I can definitely, I can see a lot of windows in here when I move the wand around. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera, but it's definitely getting lower. I don't think I'll be able to pan this anytime soon, but it is an easy color for me to reach for, so I think it would potentially be something that I would pan in the future. Maybe next autumn or something like that. We'll just have to see, but it's a beautiful shade, and it was a very easy nude to reach for, especially now in the cooler months. So like I said, it was a very exciting month. This month I actually hit the goal on 5 out of my 6 products. The only one that is rolling over is my Clarins lip gloss, and I don't know if I mentioned what this prompt was from. This was from The Only Thing You Own from that brand, because it's the only Clarins product I own now. I had another one of these previously, but I finished that up early in the year. But that is the only thing that's rolling over, so we're gonna go ahead and roll the 5 new prompts. So I have put in between 1 and 100 on my randomizer, and if I get a number I already had, then I will just re-roll, but the first one is gonna be number 51. And 51 I have not yet had. That is a product where you have multiples of the same type of color in your collection. Okay, that's definitely going to be a good one. I definitely have duplicates in different colors, so that's going to be good to work on. The second one is going to be number 47, and 47 is another one that I haven't used yet, and I saw what the prompt was, that's why I froze. It is some type of lotion, or a product that is some type of lotion. I'm going to try to avoid body lotion, because if you watched my Decay panning product pan, you know that I'm not very good at panning those, so you see what I picked, but that is going to be that prompt. Then let's pick the third prompt, which is going to be number 59. 51 is a bold lipstick, lip gloss or liquid lipstick. That is going to be something that's quite easy as well. Yeah, that's going to be, I have plenty of those in my collection, so it's going to be easy to pick something. And then the fourth prompt is going to be number 54. And 54 is a product you overlooked but now love. Another one that is going to be, that I haven't had yet, so that's going to be another one that I'm going to work on. And then the very last prompt we're going to roll is going to be number 4. And 4 is a dupe, shade or product. So that's quite similar to the other prompt we got. We got the duplicate color and now we got a dupe. So those might be similar products, but those are my 5 prompts, so let me go and pick out my products and I will be right back. So I'm back and I have my 5 products that I'm going to roll in. I honestly can't remember what order all of these rolled, so I'm just going to go in the order that I remember. So let's start with the first prompt, which was a dupe, and for that I decided to roll in my Coralista blush by Benefit. The reason why I'm rolling this in is because it's basically a dupe for my Milani blush in Luminoso. They're very, very similar. I would say the Coralista might be a tiny bit, like half a shade deeper, but on the skin they look basically identical. I really love this shade though, and that's why I have kept both, but you can see how similar they are just right there. So this is actually a blush that I might want to finish next year, which is why I want to roll it into this project to get a head start. And as you can see, I already have pan on it, so I can't put that as a prompt. So I think instead I want to put the prompt of using this 20 times in the next month. That's quite a high goal. But since I've taken a break from panning my Clinique blush in my Yellow Project pan, I'm ready to work on something else. And I think I will be able to reach for this probably 20 times in the next month. If I can't reach for that, that's fine. As many uses as possible is great, but I'm just going to put 20 to push myself. So that is going to be the first product. The next product we have is for the prompt, something that you first overlooked but now love. And this is actually a really, really new product in my collection. This is actually something that I got from my friend Martina when she was decluttering from her collection. And that is the Maybelline City Bronzer. I got this just, I think, last week, so I haven't had it for that long. But I absolutely have fallen in love with this product since I received it. I never had an interest in picking this product up, to be honest, but it's the perfect kind of bronzer for me now when I'm pale. I'm actually wearing this today, and I think it just works really well for me. You can easily build it up. It's not too intense. You don't have to be very gentle with it. You can pack it on because it's not super deep, and also it's more of a buildable formula. This specific shade is in the shade Warm Medium, and like I said, it just works perfectly for me. So yeah, it's definitely a bronzer I will be able to reach for quite often. So because of that, I'm also going to put a usage level of 20 on this. If I can use more than that, that's great, but 20 uses on this bronzer is going to be my goal. Next up we have the prompt a lotion, and for that I decided to go with my Sunday Riley Martian Mattifying Melting Water Gel Toner. I don't know if this generally qualifies as lotion because it's a little bit more liquidy, I guess, than that, but it's more like a gel lotion, I guess, so that would work. I have, let's see how much I have left. Looking at the pump, I'm about here. And my goal with this will be to finish it. I don't know, I might try to mark this to see where I am, but yeah, I think looking at it, like I said, I'm right here, so I have about half of it left. And my goal would be to finish this. This is actually one of the products I want to finish up before I move in January. So it would be really nice to finish this, and that's why I'm rolling into this project. It's a bit more of a gimme product. It's going to be no issue finishing this because it also used a sample. It's 8 mils. It's not the most ideal thing to use in winter because it is mattifying, but I think it will work nice on the makeup, and it is quite a nice liquidy formula, so I think it will sink into the skin pretty quickly. But that is the next prompt. We have 2 products left to go. I decided to roll in 2 lipsticks. For the first one, I rolled in the Revlon lip butter in the shade Pink Truffle. For the prompt, something you own in multiple colors, or something similar to that. I can't remember exactly what the prompt was, but it's the one that was something you own multiple of the same color of. So the one I rolled in, like I said, is Pink Truffle. This one is like a brownie pinky nude. You can see it right there, and I have plenty of lipsticks like this in my collection. I have basically probably similar colors of all of the lipsticks I have in my collection, so I thought I would just pick one of those. This is also a project that I want to finish next year, so again I'm getting a head start with this one. And my goal with this, I think, will be to use it. I think it's going to be really easy to reach for this one. It's quite moisturizing as well. So let's just say, again, 20 uses. I think that's something that's quite feasible, especially since it isn't easy to reach for formula. I have to reapply quite a lot, so 20 uses, but again, as much as I can. So the final product that I have to talk about is the Prompt A Bold Lipstick or Lip Gloss, and for that I decided to roll in my Christmas Red, which is MAC Ruby Woo. This is definitely a lipstick that I will be able to reach for easily in the next month, and it's probably the most kind of bold color that I want to reach for in December. Like I love reaching for like really deep browns. I even have like a green lipstick, a blue lipstick, I have like burgundies, I have loads of bold lip colors, I have like bright purples. But in December, red is the color that I want to reach for, and yeah, that's why I'm gonna roll this in. My goal with this will be to use it 10 times in the month of December, like until next update. I guess we're already in the middle of December, but until the finale of this project I want to reach for this 10 times, and that's definitely going to be partly on Christmas Eve, maybe even Christmas Day, because I love reaching for this lipstick on those occasions. And yeah, this is how much I have left. So I know I'm not going to finish it, but if I can just get a little bit more use on this in the next month, that would be amazing. So yeah, my goal with this will be to use it 10 times. And with that, I'm going to wrap up my update. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to check out Alexi and Rebecca down below. Obviously, they are the creators of this project, so make sure to go and check them out. And also, I will have the playlist link down below with everyone else who is participating. But otherwise, I really hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.